Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to our Might and Magic VIII completionist run. In this episode, well, we're just following up on having sunk the Regnan fleet, which also marks the end of the Regna chapter in the main quest. So we could go straight into more of the main quest, but I think this is a good chance for us to kind of take a bit of a breather and consolidate before we go on with the main storyline. Now, there are a few things I need to do in this episode. First of all, we have a ton of levels to gain. 4 levels for myself, for my main character. 7 levels for Elspeth. 6 levels for Sorry. 9 levels for Ithilgor, and a whopping 12 levels for Lian Stormlands. And with levels, that of course means game time will also elapse, so we can make extra use of that by grabbing, some diamonds from the shop at Balthazar Lair, and we can do bounties every month, and I'll be trying to do all of that as well. Another thing that we need to do in this episode, or here's the list of things that I want to accomplish. First of all, of course, we've got to do our leveling. Second of all, now that we've sunk the Regnan fleet, some recruitable NPCs will finally be available. One of them in particular, he's not going to be a permanent party member just yet, but it's something that I've kind of teased in the past, is Veteranus Talishire in the late game will be taking over from Sorry Blackthorn, and while he isn't going to be replacing her just yet, I do want to pick him up for a bit, because we need to do some preparations, like a bit of a preliminary stuff, so that when the time does come for him to join us, he'll be ready, he'll hit the ground running. So we'll get Veteranus Talishire taken care of. Third thing is, now that Regna, the final location, is open to us, it also includes the last few trainers that we previously didn't have access to. So for example, Dagger Grandmaster, which we've already found, but other than that, I think some of the weapon, the Arms Master Grandmaster, I think, is probably also in Regna. So we'll finally get all of our characters the highest level of mastery in all of their relevant skills. And I think that will be pretty much all that we're going to do in this episode. No major questing. Just getting this dealt with. We will be much stronger at the end of this episode than we were when we started out. First thing though is, now that we've sunk the Regnan fleet, are we given credit for it? Not just yet. Not just yet. Well, we're being told by our quest log to go back to the Ravenshore Council, but let's see what the Oracle has to say. He tells us now that we've sunk the Regnan fleet, go back to the Alliance Council, and the reason that we went all the way out of our way to this guy rather than going straight to the Council to begin with is because this is a completionist run, and one thing I am doing in this run is I am getting all of the seer notes, and sometimes a seer note can be something as basic as go do what your quest log is already telling you to do. Like, the seer is meant to be giving you hints, and you'd think there'd be no point having a hint that is this redundant, but a lot of his hints are like that, and because I've probably unwisely given myself the objective of getting all of his notes. As I've mentioned before, we're going to be doing a lot of this. Each time we advance, each time we make any sort of quest progress, we're going to be coming back to this guy to see if he has anything new to tell us. Okay. So he told us to go to the council. We're not going to be going to the council just yet. We'll do that when we are ready to advance the main quest. Possibly next episode, maybe in the episode after that. One thing I do want to do right now, though, is I want to get my buffs cast. Start with that. I'm even going to cast Torchlight, because there's going to be an annoying thing that we need to get taken care of right at the start. Come on. And what is that annoying thing? Well, let me just get my buffs ready, and then we'll get straight into that. Basically, we need to go back to Balthazar Lair, and I think this is a bit of an oversight, a bit of a bug that they left in. And I'll show you what I mean when we go back. We've already seen this, I believe, is when we go to Balthazar Lair, you'll notice we have a yellow danger indicator, meaning there are hostiles nearby. Now, why is that the case? It's not because we made the Minotaurs angry. It's because when this place resets, every, you know, whatever its reset timer is, not only will it, you know, restock, like refill the area with Minotaur guards and Minotaur peasants, but it'll also bring back the Tritons that we killed when we when we saved the Minotaurs in the first place. And the reason I am saying that I suspect it's a bug is because it doesn't make a lot of, like, the area was flooded. What was the point of doing all that, you know, thing, getting rid of the water, if the Tritons are just gonna keep coming back? You would think that once we've, you know, rerouted the water, whatever we did with all those levers, that it would stop these enemies from respawning. But apparently not. Probably a bug. If intentional, then it's a dick move from the developers, because this is really annoying. It's such a cramped area, and it's so hard to fight these guys, especially with me, because I don't want to do any collateral damage. I don't want to accidentally hit any of the friendlies. It's so annoying. Speaking of not hitting friendlies, make sure, okay, our noble bone bows indeed are unequipped. Basically, you have to go around and clear this area for yet another time. Okay, who's down there?
I got it.
A bunch of these guys.
Yes, we've done it.
Gotta be really careful with Ithilgor, because sometimes, because Ithilgor's projectile takes a while to hit the enemy, sometimes if I've launched his projectile and immediately taken someone else's melee attack, if they kill the enemy he was aiming for, then his projectile will just keep on going and may potentially hit someone further down the line, which could end up being a friendly. And if that made no sense to you, then I don't blame you. It's a very, very convoluted thing indeed. It just has to do with the way this game handles its hitboxes and its projectile attacks. And I've played this game long enough that I should have a decent enough handle on it. Now the annoying thing is, like, we're basically having to explore this place all over again. And why are we going through this exercise? Well, as we've seen multiple times in the past, because there is a civilian in this room. Oh my god, come on. As we've seen, well, now it'll work because I may have killed all of them, but if you cast Town Portal when it is not green, then you won't be able to use that spell. Is there any point to picking up gold? There isn't. But instinctively, I will occasionally be picking up gold. That's okay. The reason I went around killing all these guys is just so that we can cast Town Portal to and from this place as needed. Okay. Now, what was the point of coming all the way here? Well, this is the magic shop. We don't want to go here just yet. What we want to do is... well, before we do any training at all, I'm gonna save my game. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up Veteranus Talishire. He's gonna be in Shadow Spire, in his home, which is called Talishire Hall, which is somewhere in the western part, towards the north, I think. That's that. I think one of these houses. No? Here we go. Talishire Hall. Now, because we've sunk the Regnan fleet, he should be able to join us. And if we say yes, he tries to join our party. Our party's full, so he says, well, I'll wait for you in the Adventurer's Inn. So let's go there and take a look at this dude. And take a look at what I meant when I said we need some preparations with him. So just very temporarily, I'm gonna dismiss Leanne. I don't want to accidentally dismiss you, because I think if you get rid of your you know what, let me check this. Okay, so Torchlight is still active, but I don't want to do that because the game sometimes is weird about if you get rid of the person who cast a spell with a duration. Sometimes the spells will stop. Anyway, so we're gonna hire him again, and we're gonna go back to Ravenshore. And now, once again, gonna dismiss you and pick up Veteranus.
Welcome, adventurer.
Who is basically the class that Devlin Arcanus is. He's a necromancer. Lich is the upgraded version of that. Very powerful. Very evil looking as well. Bring him in. We've got some gear to give him. Last Stage Cuirass. Seems like a pretty good item for a Lich. This is gonna look great on our Lich. Boosting dark magic. And because it's boosting dark magic, we were carrying something. This is redundant now because this spell, this enchantment type doesn't stack. So we'll give you that. Give you this, looking rugged indeed. Eventually we'll be using him to enchant some of these items that we're just carrying around. For now, we just want to give him some stuff. And you will be taking, yes, you'll be taking the Staff of Elements, because it gives you boosts in everything. And then, like, you don't need to be waiting for... Yeah, you can hold on. to that. This is a bunch of garbage that we can just sell.
I have no more room.
You have no more room. Okay. Well, shucks. Okay, we could also give him the Staff of the Swamp, but this is a garbage item.
I don't know this.
Oh, why are we
I don't know this.
still carrying our second copy of Judicious Measure? I thought I threw this away. Excuse me for a moment. Excuse me for a moment. You may be wondering, why'd you throw an artifact away? It's because when I say I'm collecting artifacts, I just want one of each. The exception being the Mace of the Sun, because the game has them in two different artifact pools. One for randomly found and one for ones that are scripted in certain locations. Same with the Noblebone Bow, so I found it once randomly and I found it once in its scripted location. Arguably, that's also a bit of a double counting oversight, but you know what? I'll keep them just because the game gives them to you twice in two different ways rather than Judicious Measure where you get it once and then you wait for the thing that gave it to you to reset to give it to you a second time, which is closer to pure duplication, at least in my opinion. So what we wanted to do is I'm gonna, since I was like, I don't want to be throwing stuff in the water because it's, even though the game doesn't care about it at all, I'm like, it's pollution in a sense, but at the same time it would save us a lot of time compared to if we had to go and sell the stuff in the shop. So we're just gonna throw all this stuff in the water to free up some space. We'll put this stuff over here, and now we're gonna start giving Veterinus all of these ingredients, because he is gonna be our alchemist in the long run. We're also going to be giving him items that we want him to eventually enchant. That's one thing. And I think we're good for now. Just a bit of inventory management, move some stuff around. And this is our stack of red ingredients, then blue, then yellow. And now, well, you don't have your buffs. You do have the buffs. Huh. Did we... Let me check something briefly. Save it in a different slot. If I dismiss you and if I bring in...
Welcome, adventurer.
Like, Devlin. He does! Okay, so that's interesting. So when you cast something like Day of the Gods, I thought that it would only apply to your current party, and that if you dismissed someone and brought them back in, then it would require you to cast the spell all over again, but it seems that it is a buff that gets applied to everyone, including party members in the inn, and they all have the same duration. So that is pretty... I guess that also explains why when we dismissed Sorry Blackthorn, that the spells she cast didn't expire. It's because the game, in a way, treats everyone you've ever hired as in your party in terms of spell durations, but limits you to these 5, and like this is just in terms of who is able to get into combat and whose inventory can you access easily. Alright, okay, that's... that's at least given us some insight into the workings of this system. Okay. Now, the thing to do with Devlin Arcanus is he eventually will be our alchemy grandmaster. But the problem is he doesn't start off with grandmaster alchemy. He starts off only with alchemy at the master level, and the reason that is annoying is because and he's only master learning, not even grandmaster. He's got more points into ID monster than is necessary. Okay, so the reason this is important is because the game doesn't allow you to sidestep the extra requirements for Grandmaster Alchemy. So let's remind ourselves what we need for Grandmaster Alchemy is if we go to the residence of the person who teaches it. I'm going a bit out of my way. This is not actually one of the objectives for this episode, because I don't believe can become Grandmasters in Alchemy, but just to show you... Oh, no you can. It says, the black potion is the alchemist's ultimate creation, okay. Possess one of each of the best ingredients, one of the best reagents, one of each of the best reagents, and pay 6,000 gold. Now, the reason I said that I don't think we are able to do it is because, by my count, we only have one. Because I thought each of the best reagents meant these reagents with power of 50. But I don't know, maybe the game... Maybe that requirement wasn't implemented properly, or maybe the game counts finding them in some way that I'm not understanding. Like maybe if they were just generated in the map and you happen to be in the same map, the game will count as you having found them, which would be consistent with how the game counts you as having quote-unquote found artifacts. Like if they're on the map once you enter, they are then taken off the list and you can't find them again. So maybe that's what's going on, or maybe that simply wasn't implemented properly. In either case, we've gotten that done. I thought that would take a while for us to do. So, as is obvious, he will eventually be doing our alchemy in the episode where we do our alchemy, and it's nice that we've just got that open to us straight away without having to do that, the extra step. Alright, now before I dismiss him and bring Leanne back into our party, I am going to just quickly go around and give Veteranus some extra skill points from some of these pedestals, because he's new to our party. All of these pedestals will be new to him. I won't go to every single one of them, because, as I mentioned, for purposes of completionism, only my main character, who is the only truly permanent party member, the one in slot 1, only he is the one who I'm counting in terms of the one who needs to get all of them for the playthrough goals. But for the practical advantage, I am going to, where I can, give Veteranus a couple extra. I think there might be one more somewhere in the Ravenshore map. Maybe somewhere to the... You know what? Let's not worry about it too much. We're getting a little bit too sidetracked. Oh, by the way, he starts with every single spell, every single dark magic spell, every single elemental magic spell, including the Grand Master ones like Incinerate, Starburst, what's this one? What is this one? Death Blossom? No. No. Mass Distortion for Earth, and the most important one, and the reason that he will eventually be replacing Sari in our persistent party, is Lloyd's Beacon. But we're not going to be doing anything with that right now. The last thing we'll do, and we'll take advantage of the fact that he can cast Town Portal even when people are nearby. We'll go to Shadowspire and we will give him... well, we'll cast Invisibility. We'll take... this challenge pedestal, and then we'll take the one in Regna. It'll cost us a couple minutes, but it'll give him an extra 20 skill points, which I think is worth it. Alright, so somewhere here, challenge of accuracy, and let's go to Regna, and somewhere in the northern side of the map was a challenge pedestal. Which I would love for you to be able to quickly hit up. Was it not in the north? Was it more in the west, maybe? I don't know this map very well. Oh, I think that might be it. There we go. No, that's a different kind of pedestal. No, there it is. I saw it off in the distance. That's a different one, right? Oh god, it's... the game spawned two of the same type, which can sometimes happen because it's all random. Anyway, finally done. Let's go back to Ravenshore. And let's get our party sorted out by dismissing you. When we have him in our party on a more permanent basis, then we'll go around picking up some of the other ones. Like, he doesn't really need
Our sanctuary is a benediction.
Skill points that badly. It's just a pure bonus. Right now that that's done. This is going to be a bit of a long episode, fair warning. Now we're going to go to Balthazar Lair, which we painstakingly cleared out. And what we'll do is first of all, we will get some training done. And I've been doing some testing in this area in between episodes, so I should know my way around really, really well. Save here.
Here for instruction.
Start out by giving... We'll start with you. So,
Well done.
give
Here
you
for well done.
2 levels. With those 2 levels, what are we going to give you? Let's go towards Grand Master Sword as well. And bodybuilding is honestly... I mean, bodybuilding could be helpful because she doesn't have that many hit points. But I do want to focus on getting Sword Grandmaster and then Arms Master Grandmaster. And while we are training, we will also be going here and...
We got some good stuff here.
getting some
Hit the...
diamonds.
We got some good stuff here. Hit the...
And I'll be
We got some good stuff
happy
here.
if I can just find 1 diamond per restock of the shop if I wanted to be really, really efficient.
Good stuff here.
I could keep save-scumming until
Hit the...
I found 2 or 3. And each diamond will
We
be
got some good stuff here.
another
Hit the...
2 skill points for us, but I'll settle for
We got
1
some good stuff here.
because honestly, yeah, see, that's good enough. But check both of his inventories, his standard and his special, because diamonds can appear in both of them, and unfortunately, out of his black potions, only 1 of them ended up being a pure stat potion. I think I will buy this Ring of Freedom as well. I'll give it to Elspeth. I'll buy the pure intellect potion. I'll buy the diamond. Are any of the other rings good? This is decent, but like a Ring of the Gods is basically this plus 10 to every other stat as well, so this type of enchantment, kind of redundant. Alright. And you know what, we'll just take a look at what you've got here. Nothing too interesting.
Thanks for the business.
Okay, now let's first give you this ring. And let's put this potion in your inventory. Okay, so intellect is to the left. That's fine. You know what? You can equip the bow. That'll give us some space. And now we've got to walk back to the training hall. But before we do, we're actually going to go to Ravenshore because a new month has ticked over. So what we're going to do is we are going to see what our bounty is and hopefully get a good one. I'm not going to spend too much time grinding for better bounties, but I am going to grind until we get bounties in areas that I'm prepared to go to. And what I really should have done was I should have gone all the way to the Hall of Bounty Hunters and the Guild of Bounty Hunters and accidentally muted things. What I should have done was I should have gone there and then saved outside there, just so this process could be a bit more streamlined. Skeleton Archer, we can do a little bit better than that. No, that is worse. Bestial Lycanthrope is... I mean, we're gonna have to go all the way to the Smuggler Caverns. It's really out of the way and it's not that good, so for that reason I will get something different. Thunderbird, again, I don't think we have access to those. Like a Gorgon would be fine. Cleric of the Sun, no. Minotaur Peasant, no, come on. Come on, yeah. It'll pick one random... Okay, this is good. This is very good, because we can do this with relative ease. I think Where can we find vampires? There should be a place in Shadowspire. A vampire infested location. I think that's the one. And surely enough time has passed that it has reset. I think there might also be vampires.
It won't hurt us.
Oh, excuse me.
It won't hurt us.
Outside. Yeah, you know what? Let's just try and find a
It
vampire,
won't hurt us.
a greater vampire out here.
It won't hurt us. We can take it.
Here we go. No need to cast our buffs. Let's just chunk him down. Already dead. And sadly, sorry, isn't as skilled in water magic as Veteranus is, so we will have to fly back to town before we can cast Town Portal. So let's go back, hand in this bounty, and then we'll start doing some more training. Okay, that's good. We are still not ready to be promoted. We've collected 40,000 in bounties. That's good. Alright, now we go back to Balthazar Lair. And do all of this again. And the testing I was doing in this area is I was checking how many training cycles before I can guarantee that the shop will restock. And the answer I came to is 4. So, for example, if I
Here for instruction.
do 1,
Well done. Here for well
2,
done. Here for well
3,
done.
and we're in January
Here for
now,
instruction. Well done.
4, then we should be able to guarantee that the magic shop has new items for us, meaning we can buy a new diamond and potentially other useful things. Let's see if my hypothesis or if my conjecture, if my claim was indeed correct.
We got some good stuff here.
And indeed, there are new things.
Hit the-
So let's
We got some good stuff
continue building up our stockpile. I see this would have been better if it was unenchanted, then we could have given it a good enchantment with Veteranus later on. So for now, all we have is a single diamond, which honestly I'll take.
here. Thanks for the business.
Put all these diamonds in my inventory here. And now we've got... now we're in January, and of course, being in January means another bounty. Another greater vampire would be amazing. Right. Alright, alright, alright. What do you have? A buccaneer. I think we might have actually killed every single... No, I think they are also in Dagger Wound. We've killed all the buccaneers on Regna. But we can do better. Wasp Worker. Annoying and out of the way. Master Necromancer. Now this is something we can do because... Again, let's go to Shadowspire. Again, let's go to... Ooh, this is good. Because I see lots of barrels, this means this map has reset. Pick up some horseshoes. Free skill points. Oh, but hang on. I've got to do this. So this is a chance to get the last challenge pedestal ticked off. Alright. So we need... What do we need? We need a challenge of endurance. And if this is not a challenge of endurance, we're gonna be loading our game. With a 1 out of 7 chance of success, we were unlucky. Alright. So, since we know this is gonna be happening, let's do it like this. Yeah, let's go to Shadowspire. Oh, we can use... We could use Veteranous Talishire to pretty good effect on this, and I think if this doesn't magically turn out to be the last pedestal we need... Oh, but we can't. Can we? No, because we would have had to cast Lloyd's Beacon before the map had reset, and the map has already reset. So we'll have to do this next time. Alright, so... Come on. Let's get this up. I need to get this done. Because if we can just get the challenges out of the way, then... Honestly, the rest of it... It's pretty easy. Okay, come on, come on, come on. A 1 in 7 chance accuracy is not what we need. And now I'm wondering, should I be doing it this way, or should I wait until Ravenshore resets, because it'll be easier because it's right there, but I think... I'd rather get it done sooner. Rather get it done sooner, so come on. And then after we get this done, then I know I'm gonna forget, so I'm trying to force myself to remember, and then we're gonna have to find and kill that Master Necromancer. We're gonna have to pick up those horseshoes, which I picked up before I realized that, oh god, before I realized that those horseshoes being there meant that the map had reset. Yeah, this is gonna be a long video. I might split it into 2 different sessions, actually. This Post-Regna consolidation. Because when the game gives you a chance to get one of your long-running objectives out of the way, you've got to take it. You've got to adapt to the situation as it presents itself. And with this, when we finally get it, it's not if but when, one of these days it will roll for us a challenge of endurance. One of these days, you know what I should also do is knowing that this is gonna happen, I should already have Day of the Gods cast. Alright. That makes sense. Now let's fly again. So with challenges out of the way, we know we'll never have to worry about challenge pedestals ever again. They will only ever be there as bonus skill point dispensers for some of our late edition party members. But for our main actual permanent party member, he will have gotten all of them. Oh, what was I trying to do there? Now let's keep going. 1 out of 7. So this might seem like an odd thing to talk about, but let's talk about statistics and probability. Because sometimes it can be hard to get a good intuitive sense of how well or how good of a chance you have for something to happen if it has a fixed probability of occurring and if you can take multiple attempts at it. So we will begin by assuming that when a new pedestal is rolled, it has a 1 out of 7 chance of being any of the stats, and all of the stats are equally weighted. That's an assumption that isn't necessarily something we can take for granted. Sometimes games are coded in weird ways, and something might be more likely than the other, but for sake of simplicity, let's assume that the thing we're waiting for, the pedestal of endurance, has a 1/7 chance of occurring. Now, there's a notion in math and economics called like expected value. Like, what is the expected number of times that this will happen if you take a certain number of attempts at it? And the simplest way to express that is it has a 1/7 chance of occurring. So if you did it 7 times, your expected value would be that the thing would happen once. That 1 out of every 7 times it'll be a challenge of endurance. But that doesn't mean that you can do it 7 times and that'll be a guarantee that it'll be the thing that you're looking for. The reason being is because each time it does, it's random, and we are also assuming that each time we do it is independent of the previous time, so that it doesn't remember what happened the last time. And if that's the case, then there's a different sort of question you need to be asking, is that not what is the expected value from doing it X times, but what is the probability that I'll do it X times and not get the thing that I'm looking for. In this case, again, it's 1 out of 7. Let's imagine what would happen from doing it 7 times. But instead, let's rephrase the question as, what is the probability that I will do this 7 times and not get the 1 in 7 thing to happen? And for that, the only way that would happen is if 6 times in a row it was something else. And for that to happen, 6 times in a row, it would have to be one of the 6 other things, each of them, and we don't care which of the other ones it lands on. We can treat them as a blob, which collectively has a 6 out of 7 property of being selected from. So in this case, if we did it 7 times, 7 times in a row, the game would have to hit that 6 out of 7 probability. And long story short, it would mean that there's about a 6 to the power of 7 divided by 7 to the power of 7. Let me just do some quick math on my phone. Quick math on my phone. Where are you, calculator? There you are. So 6 divided by 7 to the power of 7. Open up scientific view to the power, which is 0.3399, basically 0.34, which means there's about a 1 in 3 chance that you will do it 7 times in a row, and the thing which has a 1/7 probability of occurring will not occur. Or, in other words, the alternative, which had a 6 in 7 chance of occurring, will happen every time. I need to load my game before flying back. And I don't know how many times we've been doing this, but the sense that I'm getting is that we've gotten a little bit unlucky. So, overall, it's more likely than not that the 1 in 7th probability thing will happen if you do it 7 times, but there's a big enough chance that it can't be ignored, like about a 1 in 3, that it won't happen, and it seems that we are getting exceedingly unlucky. Okay. Okay, this is getting a little bit absurd. Come on. Come on, game. Come on. I wish we'd... you know what? Let's not second guess ourselves. I was like, maybe we should load an older save game, bring Talishire, set up our Lloyd's beacons, do it that way, but you know what? I'm committed to doing it this way. We're gonna do it this way. And we're gonna keep doing it until it happens. And probably what's gonna happen is this is going to take up most of the time in this episode. Alright, come on. Come on, game. Be reasonable. Finally, we gotten our challenge of endurance. Now, what do we do? Well, I don't want any of these jokers interrupting us. So, we were briefly fine. So we're gonna cast invisibility. Now we're gonna go and collect our skill points. Everybody gets plus 10. Including you. It's important for her because now you get even more. You can become Grandmaster in Sword. I think the Sword Grandmaster is in Garrote Gorge. And hopefully one more level will put you on track to becoming Grandmaster Armsmaster. And now, miraculously, I've remembered the other thing we were doing before we got sidetracked, is we need to kill a Master Necromancer. And where do we find Master Necromancers? Well, the Necromancer's Guild is where we've already made them angry. So, I think there
Wish I knew.
are gonna be...
We can take this one. Wish I knew. Wish I knew. Wish I knew.
What?
Wish I
There are
knew.
gonna be some in town
Wish I
as well,
knew.
but I don't know if higher tier versions of them spawn in town. I think they might
I wish I
all
knew.
be
I've never
just
seen
basic
one.
necromancers. So we'll also, while I am here, I will take horseshoes for myself. Leave the barrels, probably to gift to Veteranus Talishire when we bring him back into a party. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna consume these horseshoes straight away. What am I putting points into now? Well, how about mace? And then we'll do shield, and then maybe meditation. Alright, let's cast some spells. We don't need spells, we just need to run in, run out. Run in, run out.
I'm not sure
We could
what
get
it is.
hurt.
I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is.
Hey.
We can take it out. Watch it.
Excuse me, what?
I'm not sure what it is.
Guard. Let me find a master necromancer. You know what? I'm gonna load the autosave because maybe we got a bad roll on the enemies that spawn. I'm also gonna cast their protection.
Wish I knew. Wish I knew. Wish I knew.
This time we're just gonna keep going until we find a master necromancer. Ooh, where are they getting all this damage from?
Wish I knew.
Kind of absurd how much damage they're doing.
We got it.
Regular necromancers.
Haven't seen one before.
Come on. Somewhere in here, there should be a master necromancer. Oh, that's... That piece of trash spell that they cast does so much damage. It's a bunch of actual garbage. Cast. Power Cure.
We can take it.
And the guard is just a regular necromancer.
I'm not sure what it is.
I've never seen one.
Come on, like...
Wish I
Are they not able to be master necromancers? No, surely they are. I distinctly remember finding master necromancers when we came to this place the first time. Not that.
Hey!
Now we're fighting vampires. Vampires, come on.
We did it. I got it.
God, like, look at all this damage they're doing with their crappy spells. Come on. We're gonna have to cast Shared Life. And we still haven't found a Master Necromancer, which is the annoying thing. Here we go. Master Necromancer is dead. Get the heck out. I'll check something. We haven't been magically aged or any garbage like that. Okay, let's just leave. Let us just leave. Now let us go back to Ravenshore, hand in this bounty, and continue leveling up Leanne Stormlands. There we go. We're still not ready to be promoted. I assume it's going to be at 50,000. Alright. Now we've got to go back to Balthazar Lair. Train for another month or so. For another 4 training sessions. And then how many hit points? You're getting a decent amount of hit points. So maybe we won't need bodybuilding. We'll see though.
Here for instruction. Well
1,
done. Here for well
2,
done. Here for
3,
well done. Here for well done.
4. And now we can do that. You know what? I'll take you to Master Bodybuilding, just so you have more hit points. If nothing else, then you'll be able to contribute more to the pool when we cast Shared Life. How many more levels can you gain? 2 more levels. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll get you fully trained up. And we'll do 1 more bounty. And where have I gone? I've gone to the correct place. Muscle memory brought me to the right place.
We got some good stuff here.
Do you, though? Do you have some good stuff? No, you don't.
Hit the...
You don't have what I need.
We got some good stuff here.
You got some good black potions, but no diamonds, so no deal. Alright.
We got some good stuff here.
1 diamond, hopefully something useful. Vampire cloak I'll take. It's a top tier cloak. And a diamond I'll take. Unfortunately, these boots are already enchanted with something that isn't important. Isn't needed for us. Okay.
Thanks for the business.
Okay. I'll hang on to this diamond here. That's 10 skill points just sitting there. And now, that's an ogre ear. I just want to throw that out of my inventory if I'm being honest, but I don't want to litter inside, you know, their base. It just seems rude. I'll throw it away. What's this? Old scroll. Okay. I'll throw it away once we've left. So what I'll do is I'll gain 2 more levels with Leanne Stormlance. And
Here for instruction? Well done. Here for instruction?
oh no. Okay. Good. Nearly messed up. Alright. So let's go to Raven Shore. You know what, let's load this game. We still have 2 levels left to gain, right? Okay. So I know I'll forget what the count was if I train once and leave. So let's go to, before we do anything else, go to Raven Shore, get our bounty done. Then we'll train again. What is this month's bounty? Minotaur Guard? I don't think so, even though it's tempting.
Here for instruction?
Oh god, I've forgot to save. Alright, let's not completely fall apart here. Let's be intelligent. Let's save outside. Why are you obsessed with killing Minotaurs? Come on. Get over it, dude. Boulder tempting, but kind of out of the way. Lesser Earth Elemental. No. Quaddle, no. Pack Leader. Honestly, I'll just... I think this is a Direwolf Pack Leader he's talking about. I think we're just gonna fly over here and kill one and be done with it. Except I'm not seeing any of them.
Easy slaying. It won't be any trouble. Easy slaying. Easy slaying.
Where are these wolves?
It won't be any trouble. Easy slaying. It won't be any trouble. It won't be any trouble. I don't. It won't be
Regular
any
direwolf. Maybe this is gonna be more.
Haven't seen one. It won't be any trouble. It won't be any trouble. Easy, slave. Haven't seen one before. It won't be any trouble. Easy, slave.
Okay.
It won't be.
This is proving to be more annoying than I thought it would be. Unless I'm wrong about pack leaders and where they spawn. Maybe they only spawn inside the caves. Possibly. Dark Elf Pheasant, we could literally turn around and cast an AoE spell and would probably satisfy the requirements for that bounty, but we're not killing civilians. Rooks are not accessible to us, but they will be very soon. Freedy Soldier, if I knew for a fact that the Chain of Fire had reset, we'd take a chance at that. Not doing that. Like, any of the Shadowspire enemies would be really good. Like, you know, the skeletal dragons or the vampires. Excuse me, Crystal Walker, not accessible to us yet. Undead Dragon, let's go. I think this might be the last one that we need. Shadowspire. Let's cast Wizard Eye and let's fly around until we find a nice group of dragons. And then check to see if one of them is an undead dragon. And then... And...
I'm not sure what it is.
Skeletal dragon...
Sure what it is.
Skeletal dragon...
I'm not sure what it is.
Don't
I'm not sure what it is.
don't do me like this, game.
I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what it is.
Game, come on. Game, please. What are you doing to me? Where are all the dragons? We're gonna have to go inside the Mad Necromancer's lair. Is the sense that I'm getting. It did have dragons inside it. Aye. And I'm pretty sure the bounty said undead dragons specifically. This is your Drake's Cave, it's not gonna have undead dragons in it. Okay, let's go into the Mad Necromancer's lair. Just briefly. We'll kill the dragon, we'll hand in this quest.
I'm not sure what it is.
Let me just... So obviously it's not going to be a skeletal dragon, it went
It won't hurt us. We can
down too quickly.
It won't hurt us. It won't hurt us. We can take it. We can take it. It won't hurt us. There's something.
Bone dragon, okay.
It won't hurt us.
Skeletal dragon, what is the
We
one
can take it. It won't hurt
behind
us.
him?
It
Bone
won't.
dragon,
We can take it.
but no undead dragon. I think we just got unlucky with the
It won't hurt us.
dragon spawns outside.
This could be tough.
I guess it's a price we had to pay for, you know, getting the pedestal of the game.
We can take it.
It was never going to be generous enough to give us every single thing we needed in one go.
It won't. We
Can't
can
see
take
anything.
Skeletal dragon.
Hey,
Down.
Oh, and
We have crushed.
just to taunt us, the game gives us a Master Necromancer. Alright, now the easy way to do this is to go into the, come on. Come on! Is to go into this part of the map. skeletal dragons are not what we need, but eventually one of these enemies will be the type that we're looking for. Since we're in combat mode, might as well get my spells cast. Okay, might as well even cast levitate.
Wish I knew.
I don't know it.
There we go. I was starting to doubt whether undead dragons existed. Whoa, boy, what went on? You took a lot of damage and you're afraid. Okay, let's cast Shared Life. Now...
Got it.
I was like, why are we taking trap damage? Because Levitate is still active. Bizarre. Anyway. Another undead dragon. They're doing a lot of damage. And I'm really turned around. What do I... Oh, I've got to go down here. Wow. This area is pretty confusing. All right. Let's just leave. Oh, no. We want to go outside.
Now we can rest and regroup.
Oh, and we're able to cast this as well. Fantastic. Let's go to Ravenshore. The last thing we'll do in this episode after we hand in this bounty is we'll do some
Our sanctuary is open to you. A benediction to you.
last couple bits of training. There we go. And is this it? No. Still not it. With over 50,000. I guess you need like 100,000, 60,000. Some other unusual number. Huh. You know what? That's fine. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go back to Balthazar Lair. We'll train twice more. And then we'll give you your skill masteries, and then we'll end off the episode. And that'll be a nice closing off point, I think. Okay, so...
Here for instruction? Well done. Here for instruction? Well done.
Okay. Now we can give you 1 point into bodybuilding, and from now on, all your points need to go into Arms Master. Okay, so what do we need for you? We need bodybuilding, expert, and master. So where is the expert bodybuilding trainer? Is in the Daggerwound Islands, and the master is in Garrote Gorge. And Arms Master Master Arms Master is in Daggerwound, and Grandmaster is in Regna. Okay, so this works out pretty well. This means we can go into Daggerwound and find bodybuilding. Grandmaster Spear is there as well. I think we've already picked that up though. Okay, bodybuilding is over there. Okay. And then where the heck is... A master, arms master is literally one house over. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So, Menasor, bodybuilding. You give me arms master, and now we need to go to Garrot Gorge, which is easy to get to from Ravenshore, and rather than flying, we'll rent a room and we'll take the stables for a change.
Aha! Need a coach? Ready to go. Ready to go.
Okay. That's the downside of taking the stables, is that these guys are going to be angry at us. Although they haven't reset. But we need to figure out where the master... Oh, right there. First house I clicked on, which is good. And... So, hey, hang on, where was... Where was Grandmaster Sword, then? Oh, it's on Regna. Alright, so our last two trainers are going to be in Regna. Let's find a nice, safe spot. And let's go to... Wrong spell. And let's go to Regna and get this done. Light magic. Dagger, arms master is there. Sword should be you. Dragon tracker. Fantastic. And Shadowrunner, was that you? No, you're dark magic. It was who was it? Oh, it was this house. Steel Coif. Here we go. Amazing. Now the great thing about Arms Master, and the best way to showcase it is with... excuse me, is with all the buffs active as well. So first let me cast Hour of Power, then we'll also cast Day of the Gods, and then we'll see how much damage she does. Now that we've taken Grandmaster all the way to... Arms Master all the way to Grandmaster level, and with the plus 15 bonus, the plus 7, plus 8. And look at this just beautiful, beautiful number. Attack of plus 159, damage of 155 to 179, not even counting the extra 10 to 20 points of body damage that Guardian is doing. Just beautiful, beautiful thing. And how many hit points do you have when fully healed up? 659. That is lovely. But yes, I think that is going to be all for this episode. It's run a bit long, and we haven't even done... like, we've only done about half of what I wanted to do in terms of the post-Regna consolidation. We still have levels to gain for the other party members, and we still have some bounties to turn in, potentially many more bounties, and we still have some skill masteries to gain, although we're almost completely done with those. The only ones left, I believe, are shield and mace for you, and I think that's it. And meditation, eventually. Shield, mace, and meditation for you, and you're done. You don't need anything else because we're not doing alchemy or, you know, shield or any garbage like that on you. Bow also doesn't need. Yeah, we're almost done with those, and hopefully, in fact, with certainty, I can say we'll be done with those in the next episode. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this episode got a little bit hectic, especially when we were save-scumming, trying to find the challenge of endurance, trying to get it to spawn, but eventually it did spawn. So you know what? Let's just be glad that it happened eventually, and let's be satisfied at how strong our party has gotten, especially Leanne Stormlance and her amazing damage. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, do consider leaving a like, and if you're enjoying the series, do consider subscribing as well, because I will be doing regular uploads for this series until it's over, and your best chance of seeing them as they come up, or a better chance of seeing them, is if, of course, you are subscribed. But it is entirely up to you, and regardless, I'm just happy to have you along, and I hope you will continue to stick along for the next episode as well. So, until then, take care.